Madam Speaker, this Health Amendment Bill number 2 of 2022 seeks to amend the health laws of this country so that the Ministry of Health can develop policies that will guide the referral of a patient from one facility to the other. It will also include, that the minister concerned will, in liaison with various stakeholders, they will be able to come up with a policy guideline, with guiding principles that will ensure smooth transfer of patients from one hospital to the other, both locally and internationally. Madam Speaker, this is important because as we speak today, the referral of patients from one hospital to the other is done haphazardly. One doctor may decide to refer you to a different facility simply because he is moody, he is tired, he doesn't have the time. So we want the transfer of patients from one facility to the other to be guided by law. Madam Speaker, I want, before I begin to prosecute this bill, I want to bring to the attention of the House that I'm most thankful to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly, because a very experienced lawyer was assigned to me. We worked together in terms of combing through the existing laws, identifying the gaps. As you are all aware, that laws are made to solve a public problem. So I'm very, very thankful for the support that I got from the legal counsel that was seconded to my office and to me by the Clerk of the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, I have gone through the report by the Committee on Health. I have gone through their recommendations, their findings. I want to draw the attention of the House to a letter that was written to the Committee on Health by the PS of Health, Mr. Peter K. Tum, the Principal Secretary. The basis of this letter, Madam Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of the House that the committee lifted the contents of this letter and it formed their basis of rejecting my proposed amendments. I will go through them one by one. Madam Speaker, the ministry says that they developed a Kenya health sector referral strategy in 2014 to guide the whole of this process. They also say that they are in the process of developing a policy guideline on medical tourism, which they have already initiated. They say so in this letter. They also go ahead to say that they have established a committee comprising of medical experts to review and vet referrals for medical treatment abroad to ensure compliance to the rules. They also go ahead to say that the rules that provides a roadmap on how a patient is transferred from one hospital to the other are contained in the rules of dental or medical dental practitioners. It is on this basis that they advised the committee to persuade this House not to proceed with these amendments that are to give them time to implement and do what they are doing. Madam Speaker, this is not enough reason why a bill that seeks to solve a public problem can be shelved. Madam Speaker, the thing that they are talking about being rules that are being enforced by medical practitioners, those are subsidiary legislations. And they are also not specific to the problem that I seek to solve. I want the House to ignore the contents of this letter. I want the House to ignore the recommendations by the committee, and I want to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly by allowing this bill to proceed to this stage, even when the committee felt that it should not proceed. Madam Speaker, I have also gone through the other letters that other stakeholders sent to the committee. The Kenya Private Sector Alliance supported my amendments. They have also provided suggestions on how this bill can be improved further. And I want to assure them that I will put their suggestions, their proposals into enriching this bill. Madam Speaker, we also have another organization called Coalition of Blood for Africa. They have also supported my proposed amendments. They have also suggested the other ways on how we can improve this bill further, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as we speak today, there is no substantive law that health facilities and practitioners will follow into ensuring the dignity of the patients that are being transferred from one facility to the other. We have some who have just devised their own methodology. We have some facilities that have come up with very good policies, but we want to ensure that we have a law that guides transfer of patients from one hospital to the other, including transfer of patients from this country to the rest of this country. Today, Madam Speaker, if you are a doctor and you have a clinic across the borders of this country, say of Uganda, you can decide to be driven by the appetite to make more money and refer that patient to your own clinic across the country. I am also aware, Madam Speaker, that there may exist some health practitioners in this country may be colluding with the other facilities across this, outside this country, in India, in China, that they usually act as conduits to refer patients, even when the reason why they are being referred to is not merited. This bill, Madam Speaker, seeks to ensure that even before a patient is referred, this is a very good bill. This is an idea that can be improved by this House. When a member of Parliament brings a bill or a motion on the floor, the essence is to tap into the intelligence of more than 300 members who have got different expertise, Madam Speaker. So I bring this idea in the name of a bill, Health Amendment Act of 2022, before this House, so that we can improve and ensure that no Kenyan will suffer because of a lack of following a procedure, or rather just being referred to another facility for the sake of the referring agency making some money. This bill, Madam Speaker, it seeks to compel the government of Kenya and the ministry through the referring institution that they will also, even as they are referring, they must also inform the Kenyan embassy or the Kenyan consular from where this patient is going, so that the government of Kenya can also continue to offer some bit of logistical support in terms of understanding that how many citizens of this country are being treated in which part of the world, in which hospital, so that it also become the responsibility of our ambassadors and high commissions, that wherever they also have an added responsibility of taking stock of the number of Kenyans who are undergoing treatment in their country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the committee also felt like these regulations are enough to stop this bill from proceeding. Regulations are not superior to the laws. The hierarchy of laws in this country are made in a way that the Constitution comes number one. Number two is acts of parliament. Then the regulations comes third. Many health facilities and health practitioners, they don't take regulations as serious as when it's in the law. And there is nothing wrong. There is no harm. When I was coming up with this bill, I looked at the existing regulations. I looked at the existing strategy on referral from the ministry. And I found out that they were not specific. So I have decided to enrich them and anchor them in the law of this country, so that the health facilities and the health practitioners can continue to be guided by this law, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask the members of parliament, I want to ask the Kenyan people who have been suffering due to lack of referral policy, where a patient goes to seek medical attention from a facility, and because of the negligence, because of laziness of the person in charge of that facility, decides that I'm not going to attend to this patient and refers that patient to another facility. Maybe in some instances, Honorable Speaker, patients are referred to facilities that are run by the same people, not because they are unable to provide a solution to what ails a patient, but they are driven to make more money, because you know when you are referred, you are psychologically begin to think that this is a very serious problem, and they take it as an advantage to extort patients, to demand for more money, more expensively, on a matter that could easily be treated by that health facility. Honorable Speaker, I want to go further and ask members of parliament that our role is to make the life of the Kenyan people easy, not difficult. Our role is to take an audit of existing problems and provide a solution by amending the existing laws. It is on this basis, Honorable Speaker, that I decided, in consultation with the other members of parliament, in consultation with the office of the clerk of the National Assembly, in consultation with the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly, in drafting this piece of legislation that seeks to repeal or amend the health laws of this country, so that we have a framework that will guide practitioners, that will guide doctors in this country, that will guide health facilities to follow in, or rather to be informed by them on when and how there would be need to transfer a patient from one facility to the other. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to belabor much, but I want to, with the utmost humility, call upon my sister, a very serious woman in this country, the Honorable Gathoni Wamshomba, the Member of Parliament for Githunguri constituency, and even as I ask her to second, I want to sincerely thank the people of Githunguri for bringing her to this house, for actually going ahead of us to identify her as a person who is driven by the desire to see the welfare of the people of Githunguri better and keep improving every day and every time. So I ask Honorable Wamshomba to second.
Very well. Honorable Wamshomba, you may proceed.